That's right. Defendant Rita Pangalangan is set to take the stand today, my friends. Welcome back to Court TV Live. Here's what's going to happen. Court's going to start back up in our next hour of the program, and she could be the first witness up. It's very possible. We know that she and her boyfriend, Larry King, are accused of murdering her 13-year-old disabled daughter, Christina, after that poor child was left in the car for 5 hours. And what's more, surveillance video on Larry King's home captured the whole thing. How long Christina was in the car, him putting her in the car, throwing her over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. In a second here, you'll see. So how is mom going to explain this away when she takes the stand? Well, in the meantime, Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson has more for us on the timeline of that tragic day.
11:16 a.m. Larry King carries Christina Pangalangan from his house and puts her in the back seat of her mother Rita's Volkswagen Jetta. King and Rita Pangalangan spent about 30 minutes on his front porch, both talking and fighting after the child was put in the car. 12:29 p.m. Rita goes outside to check on Christina in the car. 1:54 p.m. Rita and Larry go outside to the front porch and spend about 15 minutes talking and making out before going back inside to have sex. Neither checks on Christina. 3:03 p.m. Almost 4 hours after Christina was put in the car, Rita goes to check on her and realizes the car is locked. About 5 minutes later, Larry goes to his shed in the backyard to look for a tool to open the door. 3:14 p.m. Larry tries to jimmy the lock on Rita's car, but can't get it open. 3:25 p.m. Larry and Rita sit on the front porch, swing, and check their cell phone. 3:52 p.m. Larry and Rita leave the house to go get her extra key. 4:40 p.m. Almost an hour later, they return to his house to try the new key fob. It doesn't work. 4:58 p.m. Larry uses the emergency key to manually unlock the door, and Rita discovers her daughter unconscious in the back seat of the car.
Matt Johnson reporting for us there. Boy, it really is very telling when you have the exact times and you see exactly what they do there. Let me bring in my guests. I know they've got a lot to say. Former DEA Senior Special Agent David Katz and celebrity civil litigator John Phillips. John, let me go to you first on this one. Your thoughts after watching that video, please.
It's horrible. We were just retained on a case of a 10-month-old that was left to die, young Ariana Page. And the death of a hot car death is an awful death. And you know, what people need to understand here is the heat was only in the 80s outside, but it reached 120, 130s, according to experts inside the car. And just to watch their own surveillance capture their, you know, lack of concern for their child, or her child is just as awful as you'll see. It's just terrible.
It really is, John. It makes my blood boil. And as many times as I've watched this, it boils even more every time I play it. And especially with that piece, I loved how Matt put that together for us with the times. And you see, after they notice she's locked in, they go sit on the swing. David Katz, I've had some people say that, oh, they think this was just an oversight and a big oopsie. I'm going, this is a murder to me. What do you think? You're the law enforcement investigator. You've got years of experience. Talk to me. What do you see in this video, please, David?
I see callous disregard of those two individuals. I see a deliberate plan, and it's exactly, I agree with you completely, it was homicide. And Deco John, the hot death, the hot car death is horrific. Make no mistake about it. And they're standing on the porch, making out. It's there. You know, you keep managing to find cases where you ask for comment and there are no words. I think the video speaks for itself.
Sure does, David. I'm with you. I've been saying all week, if this were my case, if I was trying it on behalf of the state of South Carolina, my theory would be that this was the plan to make it look like an accident. That would be my legal theory. I think the prosecutor would be a little more effective than he is right now if he would sort of streamline it for the jury to say, like, look, they found her to be a nuisance, didn't want her, and this is how they made it look like it was accidental. And there is evidence to support that. I've got a clip where a woman named Brittany Honeycutt, she was formerly friends with Rita Pangalangan. And listen to what she says Rita told her to do while watching Christina.
Rita came up to me and had asked me if I could watch her. I had let her know that I had to go into work for a few hours, and she kept asking me over and over. And finally, when the answer didn't change, it was no, obviously, she told me to leave Christina in my car with the windows down because she does it all the time.
Leave the child in the helpless child in the car. I mean, so part of me thinks, David, and you know, maybe I'm thinking too much like a prosecutor here, maybe, but you know, look, I don't have a horse in this race. To me, it's like, wow, was she just wanting to run those risks with the child?
You mean,
like by just leave her in the car? Oh, you can leave her in the car, no problem. Like, I wonder if she was sort of tempting fate prior to this incident.
Yeah, like, and you mean, and then, oh my goodness, my daughter expired. I should have been more careful. I think there's a strong case to be made, and I think you're exactly right. That should be the theory of the case. I mean, look, what else could possibly explain this behavior? They carry her to the car, and they leave her in the car for what? It defies logic. Unless you come up with the theory that you mentioned, that it was deliberate, intentional act of homicide.
Thank you, David. You know, something else I was thinking about, John Phillips, you know, I think we've all been there where we're going to leave our house, you know, maybe the car's in the driveway or the garage, maybe the garage door's open, the car's unlocked, you put something valuable in the car. You know, whether, you know, even, and I'm talking just like personal item, you know, maybe your dog, you know, I've done, you know, load everything up to take a trip and you realize, oops, I need to go back inside. But you know you've got to go back inside for an extended period of time to do something important. And you have that thought in your head, like, maybe I should bring, you know, the dog back in. Maybe I should bring the belongings back in because you don't want someone to take what's so precious to you. To still, you know, kidnapping. I keep thinking of kidnapping, John. Even, you know, we're not even, let's just say the air conditioning was running. Just for the sake of our analysis, it was running, the child's okay. When you would leave a 13-year-old in a car, any stranger could take her, rape her, harm her, do something horrible to her. Thoughts on that aspect of this, please, John?
I'm a parent. On the way here, I dropped my 11-year-old off at school, and we parents, we think as parents, right? And it's exhausting. And I imagine, you know, parenting a special needs child is exhausting. But we see it too often where parents, you know, kind of think they can use a cheat code and get away for a while and have some private time by just putting a kid in a car or locking them in their room. A car is the absolute worst place. And it's sad that we have to, you know, have car companies, you know, do alerts for us to say, hey, don't forget your kid. Or, you know, there was a few years back when that happened in Brunswick, Georgia, you know, people started taking their shoe off and leaving it in their back seat to remind them of their child in the back seat. Mm-hmm. And this one doesn't ring of neglect. It doesn't ring of an accident. It rings of absolute murder and callousness and you know, so loathsome that any parent on that jury is going to say, no, this is a bridge way too far. Mm-hmm.
Very well said, John. Thank you for that. I'm so glad we have you and David on the show. Stand by, please. We've got to hit a break as we're at the bottom of the